I'll open it all up.
All right, now, Marjorie, you still see that same CrossFit Cleveland?
Yes.
Save the day. All right.
You can let him up.
I love technology. And here we are. Okay, guys. So we'll start again. I think we all know each other, but I'm Staci Russell, and Bill and I opened CrossFit Cleveland in 2007. We believe that the foundation of a healthy lifestyle is getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep and good nutrition. Kat is with us today, and thank you. I'd like to thank her. She's from True Rest Float Spa, and she's our sponsor today. Hey, Kat, do you want to talk a little bit more about True Rest?
I can give you guys a little bit of information. Don't know if any of you are floaters, but completely changed my life forever, which is why I work for the company. It is basically 1,000 pounds of Epsom salts in 97-degree water, 10 inches in isolation tanks, or what we like to call our True Rest therapy. It helps mind, body, and soul. And all I can say is it's absolutely amazing and will help anybody and everyone that is sitting on this call today.
Great. Well, we appreciate your sponsorship, so that we're going to be giving away one float to one of the participants today. So we'll get to that later. But thank you very much, Kat. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. And you guys have a wonderful evening, and I look forward to seeing the winner at the spa.
All right. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right. So I'm going to be going over a lot of information. If at any time you have any questions, if you could put it in the chat, that would be great. I'll address everything at the end. And I'm going to start here. So we are here. The holidays are here. And when we think of the holidays, what comes to mind? Food. So, food, right? For me, it's family, friends, food, stress, the hustle and the bustle, parties, drinking, food, all of it. And we get totally out of our routine at this time of year. So today I'm going to talk to you about how you can stay on track and have fun this holiday season. So whether you're starting out or you've been working hard, or you're just still thinking about getting into a healthy routine, with a little bit of effort, anything is possible. I should tell you all too that I am not a nutritionist or a dietitian or a doctor, but I personally have struggled with my weight through my life. I don't particularly care to exercise, but I do it and it makes me feel better. And I love food. And so food is my passion, and helping people being able to live a healthy lifestyle with good foods and not feeling deprived is one of my favorite things to do. So during this time, I'm sure we've all felt derailed, or we've experienced weight gain during this time of year. Technically, the holiday season starts around Thanksgiving and ends the second week in January. Personally, I think it started 2 nights ago with Halloween, or maybe when we started buying Halloween candy at the beginning of October, or whenever that was. But anyways, the average person gains over 2 pounds at this time of year, and some gain 6 to 20 pounds. And I don't know about you, but that just is not going to work for me. So my first tip for you today is to remember your why. Everyone is different, and maybe it's because you want to lose weight, you want to feel good naked, you want to get stronger, you don't want to be a burden on your family as you get older. Maybe you want to play with your kids or grandchildren. Whatever it is, we all have a reason why we begin our health and fitness journeys. So if you understand why that goal is so important to you, you'll have a better chance being successful with your goals. So let's talk about our why, your why. This is when it can get awkward because you really have to be honest with yourself. I think we can all agree that we want to be healthy, and then we have to know why. Why do we want to be healthy? So one of the examples that I use, because I hear it a lot, is I want to lose 10 pounds. I want to lose weight. So that's cool. Like, but why do you want to lose weight? Well, maybe there's some clothes that you have had in the back of your closet that you really want to feel good in. You know, those skinny clothes that are back there. Or maybe you bought an outfit that you are going to lose weight to fit into, right? Have you ever done that? Because I have a shirt in my closet that I still don't fit into. But those clothes and thinking about that outfit that you were going to lose weight to get into. So that could be your why. So, but let's think about that. Why are those clothes important to you? So it might take you back to a time in your life when you were happy or felt good in those clothes, or you want to look like that again. So let's go to that feeling of wearing those clothes and why looking good is important to you. So you think, okay, well, if I lost 10 pounds, I could be a faster runner. Maybe I could fit back in those clothes again that I was feeling comfortable and confident in. So you want to think about that why. Why is this important to you? So just take a second and think about your why, and maybe even write something down if you want. It's up to you. I want you just to take a minute and think about that. So once you uncover and understand your why, I just said to you to write that down, but even more importantly, think about writing that down somewhere and placing it somewhere where you're going to see it. So maybe it's a sticky note on your bathroom mirror, on the refrigerator. Maybe it's a picture of you in that outfit, or a picture of you with your kids will remind you that you want to stay healthy for them. Maybe it's a picture of what you don't want to look like. Maybe you recently had a picture and you're like, yikes, that's not what I want. So keeping that in the forefront. And something else, and this might be a little bit off topic, but people watch you. So whether it's your family, your friends, your clients, people are watching you. And why don't you be the example of a healthy lifestyle, right? Rather than you seeing somebody and saying, gosh, I want to be like them. You be that example. So keep that in mind as I'm talking today. But remembering your why when changing your lifestyle is so important to making lasting changes. It will help you stay motivated, focused, committed, and ultimately you're going to be increasing your chances of reaching your personal goals. So that brings us to number 2, and that's planning ahead. So think about this. A goal without a plan is just a wish. So it's really easy to get off track when we're busy. And we're talking about the holidays today, and it's really hard to stay on track, but we all know I love to talk. But having a plan is really true throughout the year as well as the holidays. By having a plan, you are setting yourself up for success. So let's say you're traveling for the holiday. Okay, well, we need a plan for that, right? So hopefully your plan is not to get in the car and stop at a gas station and buy chips and candy for the ride. That would not be what we would say is a good idea. So maybe if you're getting in the car, pack yourself a snack, cut up some vegetables. They're so easy. You don't even have to cut anything up. You can buy a bag of carrots. You can celery, peppers, whatever. You're not going to overeat those vegetables. So cut up some vegetables, maybe put in some nuts in there, some turkey or hard boiled eggs. And then you can snack on your way. And if you're flying, you can pack a snack there too. An RX bar is a great option. There's lots of different, healthier bars that you can get. But it's going to be a much better option than buying an expensive treat at the airport, and you're just going to spend a lot of money. So not only are you going to be proud of yourself for sticking to your plan, but you're going to feel better mentally and physically for actually taking that step. So the next tip I have for you is being consistent. And that sounds so easy. But remember, consistent actions lead to lasting results. So maybe think about it this way. Your new habit done consistently will lead you to the results you're looking for. So even when you're traveling or going to parties, it's really important to stay consistent with your routine, including staying hydrated. So your water, right? It's just because it's the weekend doesn't mean that your water shouldn't be drunk, or it's the holiday. So drink your water. If you have an exercise routine, I highly recommend you block out time to stay active. Don't let these outside worlds and activities get to you. It might not be exactly what your normal looks like, but you're still taking time for yourself, and that will make you a better person for you and everyone around you. Just ask Bill. So I actually tell you, I'm going to challenge you actually to tell a friend or someone, hey, when they ask you to like go out to lunch, like, hey, I was planning to work out at that time. Can we do it a little bit later? Right. So I guarantee you they're going to encourage you like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's totally fine. That'll work for me. Or maybe if they know you're going for a hike or a walk, they're going to say, you know, can I come with you? Maybe we can start there and then have coffee after. But they're also going to be envious of you. You're making yourself a priority, and that's really important. And if you're traveling, you're out of sorts anyway, you're out of your routine. So still try to stay in that routine. Try to block out some time to go for a walk. Maybe you need some time away from your family. I don't know. Or maybe the hotel you're at has a workout room. Like, go use it. You're paying for it. Go use it. Meal prep. Okay, if you meal prep, you should still be meal prepping. The holiday is just one day, right? So Thanksgiving falls on a Thursday, but you still got to eat Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then, you know, if you're cooking, maybe you're going to have leftovers, but if not, you still have the rest of the week. So if you're a meal prepper, continue to meal prep. I think that Christmas this year falls on a Monday. Well, that's great, but what are you going to do for the rest of the week after that? So still stay consistent with that routine of meal prepping and being prepared. Maybe you're not a meal prepper, but being prepared as you always would. And this next one, so sleep. This one is really hard, but we should all throughout the year try to go to bed and wake up at the same time. It's harder on the weekends and holidays, I know, but earlier, if you remember, I told you Bill and I believe that 7 to 9 hours of sleep is a good thing. When we're not getting enough sleep, our bodies go crazy. So it could include our digestive systems. You could be bloated because of it. If you're staying up later, maybe you're having an extra cocktail and it's going to lead to poor food choices. You could just be cranky during the day and have bad food choices. So do yourself that favor, get your 7 to 9 hours of sleep. And even if it's off your schedules. So say you're traveling and you're up later than usual and you go to bed at midnight and you're used to going to bed at 10, stay and get that extra sleep in the morning. You don't have to get out of bed right away. There's a ton of science and stuff about this. So if anybody's interested, just let me know and I can get you some more information on that sleep. But by planning your week like normal, you're going to be able to stay consistent even on holidays and big days. So one of the biggest things that I see a mistake of is people saving up for Thanksgiving. Right? So you skip your breakfast and then lunch, and you're going to have this big meal. You're sending yourself an invitation to screw up. That's just true. You're going to walk in there hungry. You never want to go to a party hungry. Truly, you don't want to go anywhere hungry. Like, think about when you go to the grocery store. It's a disaster. It can be a disaster if you go in there hungry without a plan. So stick to that normal routine. Have breakfast, have lunch or snack, depending on what time your meal is. If you normally work out in the morning, go work out, go for a walk, go for a run, go for a walk, whatever, do something. If you stay consistent with your eating routine, it's going to be easier to stay on track. So remember that Thanksgiving or any holiday is just another dinner. It just has a little bit more temptations than maybe we're used to. I know some of this might sound repetitive, but if you plan ahead, it's easier to stay consistent. So those go hand in hand. All right, so we're going to just recap a little bit. You know your why, you've made a plan, and now you're going to be consistent in your daily routine. So what's next? The plate method, my favorite. If you've been in my office, you've seen this graph before. And if you were around on Thanksgiving, I dressed up as the plate method. So That was Kathy's idea for me. So anyways, so no matter where you are, what you're making for a dinner or a snack, if you keep the plate method in mind, it takes all the hard work out of it and you will be able to stay on track. So for those of you who don't know what the plate method is, it's if you have your plate, you're going to fill half your plate with vegetables. So that's your broccoli, your asparagus, your carrots, your leafy greens, you know, your lettuces, peppers, eggplant, those kinds of things, vegetables, half your plate. Then if you take your palm or that quarter of a plate, you're going to have about the palm of your hand is going to be your lean protein. So fish, chicken, turkey is a lean protein. And I mean, sometimes, sure, we're going to have steak, but if you're thinking about your size, it's the size of your hand, or maybe like the size of a deck of cards. And then that last quarter is the quarter that we love best. We all love it. But if you think about that quarter, think about like if you cup your hand and like the size of a measuring cup of 1 cup, that's about what you should be having for your starchy carbs. So your pastas, your rice, your beans, your stuffing, your mashed potatoes, your bread, all the stuff that we love. I know that's hard because we're talking about like the holidays and there's so much of that stuff. But if you keep that plate method in mind, every time you eat, including your snacks, that will help you stay consistent. So if you remember back when I was packing your snack and I said to bring some turkey, nuts, and vegetables, those are your vegetables, your proteins, and your fats, right? So even your snacks should follow the plate method. So here's some tips for the party or the holiday. So you're going to bring a healthy dish to share. You don't, you know, you're going to be so amazed if you bring a fresh salad or a vegetable tray, people are going to eat it. Instead of bringing a green bean casserole, maybe take some green beans and saute them with some like garlic and almonds, that kind of thing. Somebody's echoing here. Sorry. So green bean casserole is not your vegetables, but you can bring another healthy side and people will eat it. I have a pumpkin pie recipe that people don't know that it's not filled with sugar. So there's plenty of options that you can do to bring something that you're going to feel comfortable eating. And I promise you, people will eat it. My second thing for thinking about a holiday or a party is stay away from the appetizer table. Make a plate, move away, enjoy the plate. There's no reason to stand there and graze. That's just going to lead to mistakes. But also now you have, say you brought that vegetable tray. Now you have some vegetables, put some of that other good stuff on it, maybe some dips or whatever, and enjoy it. The next thing I want to tell you is like when you're eating your dinner, you want to like maybe start with those vegetables first. That's going to help fill you up. And then going on to your protein and then saving the starch to the end. Come on, those are the best parts. It's like having dessert right there. After you finish your eating, think about just sitting and enjoying your company for a little bit, like 15 minutes. So our brains are 15 minutes behind our stomachs. So if you're feeling hungry after that 15 minutes, so you eat your dinner, you're sitting around, you're talking, and you're still hungry. All right, so go back and get some more. Get the vegetables. I'm just kidding. Seriously, don't just overload that plate again. Take another small plate. But if you really wait those 15 minutes, most likely you're still not hungry. You might think you are, but you're not. So our last tip is staying mindful. That's such a buzzword, but seriously, we know that restrictive diets and mindsets don't work. So what happens when you're told you can't do something or have something? That's all you think about, right? So, oh, you can't have those mashed potatoes. You're going to want mashed potatoes. And likely, while you're thinking about it, you're eating other things that are going to add up to way more than if you just had those potatoes in the first place. So enjoy the potatoes. I know I mentioned earlier about staying hydrated, but something I forgot to mention is have a big glass of water before your meal. So if you're having a couple drinks, you have your appetizers, have a big glass of water before you have your meal. Props to my mom, who, when I was growing up, I would say, I'm hungry, and she'd say, have a glass of water. And I'd walk away saying, have a glass of water. I'm like, who wants that, right? But seriously, stay hydrated. That will help you make better decisions. So depriving yourself is not the answer. So think about your favorites, your mashed potatoes, your stuffing, your cheesecake, whatever it is, you can have it. Keep that plate method in mind that we just talked about it. Put it on your plate, save it, and enjoy it. And just enjoy it and move on. And so say too, this is like something people say to me all the time, is like, well, I can't decide. I like it all. You know, I want my mashed potatoes and I want the stuffing and the sweet potatoes. Well, why don't you think about maybe one or two of your favorites, and just have one or two of your favorites? Do you really need that roll to go with it? You know, we probably eat rolls all the time, but maybe that stuffing is something that you don't get all the time. That's something more special. So maybe make a conscious decision that you don't have to have it all, but you can have some and still truly enjoy it. I've talked about a lot here, and it can be very overwhelming, but hopefully some of these tips have they're resonating with you, and you're going to help, it'll help you get through that holiday. But I have bad news. Thanksgiving's still 3 weeks away. And we often say that walking through the door is the hardest part, but you've done that. You're here. You're ready to make that start. So congratulations to you all. You should be very proud. Maybe you just wanted that float spot. I don't know. But either way, I'm thanking you for being here. But you don't have to wait for New Year's Eve to get started. Remember earlier when I was talking about your why, think about how you want to feel at the beginning of the year. Do you want to go in as a statistic of gaining 2 to 20 pounds over the holidays, or go in with a plan that you know you're going to feel better about yourself with? There is always something that's going to come in the way. Trust me, there is. It's just the way it is. So take a little bit of time, think about your why, make a plan, stay consistent with that plan, and be mindful to not overindulge. That plate method is really going to help you. If anybody needs a picture of that plate method, let me know. I'm happy to send it to you. Most of us know what to do, but we can all use accountability. So that's why having an accountability friend or coach is very helpful. If you'd like some help, let me know. We can set up a talk and we can see what it's like to work with me, to work together, actually. I think Kat went off, but before I get to your questions, if Kat's still here, thank you again, Kat. And again, she's from True Rest Float Spa in Rocky River, and I hear it's wonderful. All righty. Anyone have any questions? Nobody
No.
has any chat. Anybody?
No, you were thorough.
I'd expect that from my mother. Hi, Kathy.
I liked your why. I like the the very first part about the why. I thought that's good to write it down and have that someplace. So
Good. And I'm going to stop sharing so I can see all your faces.
Stacy, would you like me to share my tip on how to not overdo the sweets?
Sure. Hi, Libby.
Well, and I know there's somebody on this call that just heard that last week. Let me go get something. Hold on.
I can stand to hear it again.
He's going to show you, Kirsten.
Oh boy. All right.
Yeah, well, sweets aren't my
So-
problem. The potatoes.
Well, but all right, I can go for that. Anything that you really enjoy. So I'll show you this. That's my favorite, one of my favorite candy bars. And I'm fortunate I don't have a sweet tooth. So I don't have, a lot of people are really addicted to sugar and they have a really hard time with it. I mean, I could eat a ton of it, but I just don't. But one way that I can stay under control is I want you, it sounds weird, especially coming from a guy who thinks he's tough. But I savor my food, okay? And so I could eat 5 of these Reese's cups, right? Or what I do I'll do this off camera. I'm biting into it. I'll take a piece about this size. Maybe the size of 2 peas, not a marble, but just a little bite. And I'll eat that. And I'll keep it in my mouth. I'll put it under my tongue. I'll chew it up, and I'll keep that Reese cup in my mouth. It might be in my mouth for 30 seconds. That whole time, I mean, I'm tasting that sugar. It's like, oh, it's good. I mean, there's not going to lie. Sugar tastes awesome. But I can go, if I can keep that in for 30 seconds, I bet you some of you could have eaten 2 whole Reese cups, right? So my mind is getting that signal. And it's getting, if I'm getting a dopamine release or whatever the hell the neuroscientists say, I'm getting this positive loop, but I've only eaten a little piece. And right now I can still taste it. So I'm savoring it. I'm paying attention to that. And I
Would you
might
say
have
you're
another.
being mindful?
Huh? Yeah,
Mindful.
but this is a strategy. This is a technique. This is a tip. I mean, look, the one day, I don't know how long ago it was, but we wake up and we come downstairs, and we have 2 recliners that sit next to each other, pointing to the TV. And she has a table, I have a little table. And on that little table, there is a half a Reese cup sitting in the little paper wrapper. That means the night before I only had a half of it. It works. So just try it. I don't know how well it works with bread. Like it's the sugar thing. You can just keep tasting it when it's in your mouth. So I don't know if you like love bread, and I mean, I like bread with like olive oil and balsamic vinegar. You can keep that in your mouth. Just don't eat it all. Try it. It might save you a few pounds through the holidays.
I have a question.
So Kirsten, did you try it or not?
Not yet. No, I ate the cupcake last time, but I was gonna try it tomorrow because that's my cookie night. But yeah, I've got to put that on hold. So no, I am gonna try your method though. I think that will work. I think that will absolutely work for me. So yeah, I'll keep you posted on it.
Kathy, I think you had a question.
And I'm sorry I was late. I'm still actually at work. But so if you answered this, please just tell me and I'll watching the rerun. So as some of you know, I do all the cooking for for every holiday. And I find that I practically eat the entire meal while I'm cooking because I'm salting and tasting, and especially the stuffing. It has a very certain flavor that I remember as a child that our whole family remembers. So I probably eat half of the stuffing trying to flavor it. And I just don't know how to get, I really struggle. I think, Staci, I've been with you long enough. We've probably talked about this. I don't know how to get around that.
So my best thing to tell you is, and I get it. I got that hand me down from my mother too. I get it. But maybe having a dish of vegetables around. I get that you're looking for a specific flavor, but instead of tasting it as often, if maybe you have some cucumbers or carrots or something that you can be eating instead of what you're cooking, that you might not be so apt to taste it as often. Or maybe bring out like 3 teaspoons, okay? And you only get 3 tastes. You got to get it right. And it's so 3 tries, 3 teaspoons, not big spoons, little spoons.
Yeah.
And maybe saying I can only, you don't need to taste it right away because it's not ready yet. And maybe making some increments of like when you can taste it.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's a hard habit to break. Yes.
I got a kind of a gross one idea for you, but think about, I've never seen this in person, but seen it on TV, the wine tasters. What do?
I
They
do
switch
it.
it around. They spit it out.
So, if you do the surf,
You'll drive
trust
all
me.
your guests. All your guests will leave your kitchen for sure.
I have asked Staci if A, do you get the calories from doing that? And B, is it an eating disorder? Because C, I do it all the time. Because I am a impulse grabber. So I'll walk in, I'll shove a piece of something in my mouth. And then my brain says, what the F is this? Is this part of my why? What about my why? And then I turn around and go, it's been.
So what we do when
I
Staci and
think Giada does that.
when Staci and I food prep, like on a Sunday, we don't ever have dinner. because
Yeah.
we're eating and picking. So that won't work on a holiday because you have to sit at the table, but
But you don't have to
maybe
eat.
if
You
you,
don't-
what's that? Yeah.
You can.
I
eat.
generally don't, to be honest with you, because by then I'm full.
You're
So that's
full
a
and
way
you're
to fix it.
Turkey and
full and
scooping
you're
up.
tired.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm tired, and now not only do I cook it, then I of course serve it and put it all out in the bowls, and by then everything's gone. You know.
Yeah. How
I
about when
spit
you're,
out a lot. Do you get the calories when you spit out? I just am curious.
No.
Good.
how about when you're putting it away, when you're cleaning up? How much do you
Well-
eat then? I eat just as much then as when I'm cooking.
I found that when I meal prepped and I did it, and I would just make mass quantities and then get everything ready in the morning on my way out, I'd eat most of my meal, like licking the spoon or taking a bite of the rice as I'm putting it into my container. So now I've solved that, thank you to Stacy, by meal prepping at night, or just doing, I just open up in my fridge and I have everything in containers, individually packed for the week. Thank you, Stacy.
You're welcome.
So that solved eating half of the meal while I was putting it into my container in the morning.
Who else has a question? Libby?
Moi?
I was gonna ask if you'd send your pumpkin pie recipe.
Yeah.
Yes, I will.
Or if you have a good cranberry sauce recipe.
Actually,
That's not
I do.
so super duper sugary.
Yeah, actually I do. It's made with orange juice and real cranberries, and I will.
My mom has that recipe. It's really good, Libby.
But ours is
Ours has sugar, but we put less in it.
Yeah.
You know, oftentimes too, like even when I make when I bake, and it's like say it calls for a cup of maple syrup or whatever, I hardly ever put the actual amount in it. It never needs it. So cranberry recipe. So when I send out the recording of this tomorrow afternoon, because I'm gonna make sure those recipes, I'll add the pumpkin pie and the cranberry sauce. And I'm gonna add in a healthier version of, and truth be told, I haven't tried it yet, but a green bean casserole. That's going to be a little bit healthier than having the cream of mushroom soup, you know, the kind that we love.
With the French fried potatoes or onions on top.
Yep.
of course.
I saw a big bag of those French fried onions at Costco today when I took Benny. And I looked right at him and I walked by him. I was like, I would have eaten a whole bag.
Yeah.
Good job. Jackie? Questions? No?
Sorry, my dog was barking.
Carol?
Yes. What do you do if your fiance doesn't want to eat any of it?
That's their problem.
More for you.
Like, so I'll back up and be more serious. Like, they don't want to eat any of it, meaning like they want something totally different, or
Yeah, like, so the fried onion situation, like, buy the bag that is like in my pantry on like a regular day. So the idea of not having that is not an option in their brain, but like it is in
Oh,
mine. So what do you do?
Well, so you can make two different versions, right? Or you can put like those onions. That's the best part. If you're gonna have some, just have it. Just eat a smaller portion of it. You know, savor it. Swish it around your mouth.
Somebody's making fun of me.
Seriously,
Listen,
seriously.
I am
So
not
just
spitting it out.
But if you like it, just have a smaller portion and enjoy it, and don't feel guilty about it.
And push
And
the
then
onion,
the other
push
thing
the
is
onions aside. Push the onions aside.
But
on
you like
yours.
the onions, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, just have a smaller portion. Be okay with that. Enjoy it. Hey, Foster, do you have a question?
Hi, yes, I have a question. I was curious, what would you say about timing out like the meal with the workout? Because it's like harder to work out the next day with a big meal, right? So would it be better off just having a skip day or trying to fit it in, excuse me, trying to fit it in on that holiday maybe?
Let me just make sure I'm following the question. So you're talking about the next day because you're just bloated and full?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Are you better off skipping and maybe just trying it the next day, or yeah, just
Oh.
sweat a little bit? Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things, and I didn't talk about this at all, but if you follow that plate method, hopefully you wouldn't have overeaten, or you take that 15 minutes to let it settle in before, like, your plate doesn't have to be huge. Just get those favorites on there and enjoy them. But if you did overeat, go for a walk after dinner. Like, I know some of us live in Cleveland, but go for that walk, and that will help. And then stick to your routine the next day, because it's not going to get any easier the next day, right? So stick to the routine. If you're going to be in Cleveland, bring one of your family and friends. You're going to hear more about it, but we're having a workout that's friendly to a bring a friend workout. So bring somebody else who's eaten too much. But if you try to stick to that plate method, and then, like I said, go for a walk that evening, but don't skip that next day. It's not going to make you
Gotcha.
feel any better mentally to skip that next day.
Yeah,
Right.
plus
Yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, right after the meal, that makes sense too. Thank
Yeah,
you.
just don't
And-
go for a workout after the meal. Just go for a casual walk and just get some blood moving. We should be doing that every day. Like 10 minutes a day after lunch is what my clients and I all do. 10 minutes after
Mhm.
lunch. It's
Religiously.
and you're gonna
You-
feel better for it.
You can make a workout for Thanksgiving for us to do on our own.
We're
Well-
going to have a turkey ruck in the morning, most likely.
It's
On-
very possible that we're gonna do a ruck in the morning.
Oh,
What am
And
I gonna
possi-
do?
And
What do you mean, what are you gonna do? You're gonna be in Cleveland. You're gonna come with us.
I
And
know.
it might be a virtual ruck too, so that if you are somewhere else, like in Palm Desert, California, or Hilton Head, South Carolina, you can zoom in at the beginning and say hi, and then you can go on your own little walk and then check back in at the end. We did that
Person in
during the
Hilton-
shuttle.
The person in Hilton Head is gonna be right here.
Also
I know,
should
that's
be
why I
out.
said, so that's why I said, what am I gonna do while you're all rocking?
You'll be stuffing the turkey and putting it in the oven.
Oh,
Right.
good, I'll be cooking, okay, thank you.
Cheryl, how about you? How about any questions? You're on mute. I know you're shy. You like to be on mute.
Can you unmute her, Stace? There you
I
go.
can't.
Or-
Oh, there you are. Oh, we can't hear you. Your volume might not be on, Cheryl. You can type a question in the chat if you want. Abby, any questions there?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just on bath time with the little one, so I've muted it for everyone else's benefit, to be honest. I think mine's just probably moderation. Like, it probably won't be too bad over a Thanksgiving, but leading up to Christmas, it will definitely be about the moderation and probably more walking, like you suggested. Like, definitely after meals and things like that, making sure we get steps in if we can't get to a gym or whatever for any reason. But yeah, like everything you've suggested, we absolutely.
Good.
I'm gonna make a picture and put it on the fridge. That's gonna be my like why need to do this.
Good.
I'm gonna
good. I
print
love
one
it.
off tonight.
Yeah. Good. I'm gonna ask you about it tomorrow morning.
Yeah, maybe hand drawn. I'll take a picture.
Perfect. I can give somebody my plate method from my Halloween costume. Kathy, that was Kathy's idea.
Look what I carry with me at work.
Good girl.
You're smart.
That was a great idea, Kathy, that plate method costume.
Well, the two of you together, it was the perfect match.
Ridiculous.
Any
I
other?
should have wore that plate method costume because I'm the one who made it.
Yeah.
He did a great job.
Yep.
All right, well, great job, Stace.
Thank
You
you.
redeemed yourself.
Thank
You
Thanks.
didn't like the thought of doing this, and you did a great job.
Did a great job.
Aw.
Yeah,
Very
thank
good.
you.
Yeah.
Good job. Thank you.
All right, guys, thank you and have a great evening. I will get you out a Zoom and we'll pick the winner as well too.
All right, thanks.
Okay,
Bye.
thanks.
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.